What's up, you guys, and welcome to Sith Happens, a Star Wars podcast. I am Eric the Dadalorian, joined by my disciples of the dark side. That would be my boy Black Series Daily Desk, also known as Matty Ice, and my boy I Am Not a Committee, also known as Anthony. How you brothers doing?
Hello there. Doing fantastic. Very excited for what is going to be a Minoc hunt of theories and excitement today.
I love that. Good evening, gentlemen. Doing fantastic myself, and I am pumped to discuss some Star Wars with you guys. Let's rock and roll.
Hell yeah, man.
Coming out of D23, it's going to be a big one for us. It's very exciting.
Yes. Well, especially we had to skip last week because our boy Anthony there went to the promised land, so to say, which I'm sure we'll throw some photos into when we edit this at the end and everything, man. But how was it? Pretty good?
Yeah, so we did.
For those who don't know, I'm talking about Galaxy's Edge.
We did Disney Hollywood Studios within there, Galaxy's Edge. So it's an awesome little. It's a pretty darn big park. And it feels like you're just walking through Star Wars, and it's amazing. And every time I go through there, I've done it a couple times. My heart just like kind of skips a beat a little bit. I'm like, I feel like I'm here, and it's awesome. So I could go on and on about that, but we have other things to talk about.
And
your collector's corner could just be a collection of memories from this past week. But that'll be its own episode. It could be a 4-hour one-man podcast.
Yeah, that could be, because I took probably 1,000 photos.
I was surprised.
Good luck, Eric.
Live stream from there, honestly. So, that'll be a hell of an edit right there. All right, but what we're here to talk about today is we got a couple of topics, and honestly, I'm super stoked to get into these. Now, first and foremost, we are going to talk about the newest trailer for Skeleton Crew, which is less than a month away now. It looks so amazing. What are your guys' first thoughts on it, honestly?
I mean, first of all, excited to get back into recaps now that we have Ant not just guest starring on recaps. Yeah. Like, it's going to be super fun. And I mean, I think to kick off, I think the thing that's special about this is the thing the trailer brought was not only, like, we've talked about it being like a mix of like Goonies, a mix of like Guardians of the Galaxy, but the thing that it brings is wonder. And something a little bit different. Even the way they used, pop music in the trailer.
Yes.
It's like, we're in Star Wars, but let's play with the world even more than they have been. And I think bringing John Watts on, knowing what he did with the Spider-Man movies, he's brilliant. It's a really exciting time. And I think hopefully, they've said it's a show starring kids, but it's not a kids show. But I'm hoping it is a little bit, because get that spirit of Goonies in there that we got when we were little kids.
That's what I'm saying,
let it ride. Let that adventure continue.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. Like I am pumped to see what the soundtrack of this full show is like, to be honest with you, because I loved like anything where it's got that 80s vibe soundtrack on it. I've always loved it. And this last trailer where they had Major Tom was like the theme song for like the whole trailer, like it just gave it such a kick-ass vibe. And ever since they toyed with that type of music in the Ahsoka series, on that scene with Sabine riding the speeder bike, like it was just turned out in an amazing scene in and of itself. And now that they're bringing that into what looks like it'll hopefully be within an entire show, like kind of showing that, I'm really excited to see where it goes. They also toyed with it in Fallen Order, where the band The Who, HU, FYI, they did the intro song there for Jedi Fallen Order. So like I like how they're getting like these, like our music, like, so to say, because everything up until now in Star Wars has really been like these grand orchestral type of things, and this, they're getting into more punk music, pop music, and stuff like that, and it just gives it like a really cool vibe, honestly. So, Ant, what do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm stoked for it. I have every part of me knows it. I'm gonna love it. You guys
I don't think there's any Star Wars you don't like, bro.
Nope, there isn't. And I've read a lot of content as well. So, but about the Skeleton Crew, no, I agree. You guys did a really good job explaining my thoughts as well. So thank you. And,
sorry to steal your thunder.
No, but I did. I mean, since the first trailer dropped, I said the Guardians thing. I was like, kind of had that vibe, but then the music really set that home for me. So, and of course, Goonies. Yeah. So, two two great things with the what's the guy's name from Spider-Man?
John Watts.
Ooh, I don't know. Okay.
And he's been at what Spider-Man, the newer ones?
Well, it's the guy the guy John Watts is who he's the showrunner. He's the one that made all three of the new Spider-Man movies. So that's
Hell yeah, and those movies rocked. So that's
emotion.
Hopeful.
Yeah.
That's a hopeful sign right there too. So the characters to me look great. I think all of the younger crew look fun. The alien Neil, I think, is going to be a fun character.
Yeah.
And we've talked about before, the different aliens that are going to be in this.
Yeah. And figures are live for all of the figures on Hasbro Pulse as of a couple hours ago. So hopefully by the time you hear this, if you want them, I personally am waiting to snag the kids. I think they may end up being easier than we think.
But you might want to rephrase that.
No. I'm going to wait on the kids. I think they'll be easier than we think. You got me. This has been an elaborate ruse for like a year. But yeah, I stand by it. I'm not going to purchase those children on the open market until I find out how much they go for. Later on,
this is going to be the trailer right here. Holy shit.
Maybe the cute one with the elephant nose. No, but anyway, so I think they look really cool, but I think they may be easier to get. I think Jude Law is ultimately going to be easier to get, but I had to give my man J Law. He's here, by the way, ready to do an interview. We're tight. Come on out, Judy. But he wants the kids too in the show. It's very clear. But I also got Brutus, who I think the pirates in the trailer. I feel like Brutus may end up being one of the hardest figures to get when all is said and done. Comes with 4 blasters, but I'm warming up to the fact that their blasters all look like muskets. It's got that Treasure Island feel when we start talking about things that are coming in. And I mean, Urkel as one of the main pirates in a cyborg suit.
The first time you told me that kind of bummed you out, I was like, oh man, I thought it was
I'm warming
awesome.
up to it.
So I was just sure.
I always thought it was cool, to be honest with you, because as somebody who works with weaponry in the military, it's, and especially when you look at this from a Star Wars point of view, the Empire has state of the art because it is built within they get the best of the best type of thing, but everybody else in the galaxy, and it kind of almost goes back to Firefly and Serenity, right? All of these other folks who are just trying to make it in the galaxy got some really busted ass stuff, and they're just it's dirt cheap type of stuff.
Same.
Let me be clear. I think the concept of them looking like ball and cap muskets is cool. I like a good blaster fight, and I don't need to see
Well, hey, we've had the conversation before that. We've had the conversation before that, and Andor Val just had an AK-47 essentially.
Yeah, she did.
It's actually, if you look, it's redone, and it's a very nice allegory for insurgency. I'm not going to get into that.
In that show, when she shot it, I was really expecting this, instead of pew pew pew, I was expecting cat 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 cat.
I mean, it's a cool gun.
It's a cool gun. Wait, is yours longer than the one I got? I think yours is longer than the one I got. Let me see the barrel.
She said.
Hold that. It's not in the camera.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah, yours has a longer front than mine did. Mine's got a snubby front. Is there a variant that I'm unaware of?
I'm gonna need to go to Ollie's now.
That's where my brother, Ari's Legos Legends and More, he got this for me there.
I gotta go look. I think I got an alternative. Because I literally wouldn't have noticed that, but I remember when it came out of the package, I was like, this is a little snubby versus the show. But then also, I literally just took a photo, which you can see on my page, Black Series Daily Desk on Instagram, just a couple of days ago when Mr. I Am Not a Committee and his brother, Ari's Legos Legends and More, and our friend Black Series Natural Light did a little post some figures that you don't normally take photos of. So yeah, goddamn man, now I gotta go find it. But we digress.
Maybe your variant was rocking the AK-74 instead of the 47. So
he's got a 74 and I got an AKSU. But neither here nor there. Eric and I are insane.
Kind of getting back into Skeleton Crew itself. The trailer. It gave me, seriously. The trailer gave me a lot of vibes of different things because it gave the Star Wars vibe. It just gave that what you feel when you see a Star Wars trailer. But in addition to that, it gave that Goonies vibe. It gave what is it, almost like an Indiana Jones vibe because of the treasure room at the end there and everything like that. And it's just feeling like it's going to be one of those classic almost 80s movies with the action adventure ones. And that's
And,
why everyone said from the beginning it's got that Goonies vibe, man.
Yeah, and I don't know, Matt, if you have watched the scenes from it or not, but playing Outlaws, it kind of gave me that kind of same vibe.
Oh, cool.
So I haven't played a ton of it, but I've played a fair amount, and it's a great game in my opinion.
Yeah, it's expanding the galaxy. Yeah,
but yeah, it kind of had that kind of same vibe to it.
That's so cool. Couldn't be a better time to be a Star Wars fan if you want to accept Star Wars for everything it is. And I think that, I've very much stayed off the internet when it comes to like responses to this, because the minute I heard that there was a pop song in the trailer, I was like, I am not going to let this harshen my mellow with the like Star Wars doesn't have music with lyrics, and I want to be like bah, da, 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 the minute somebody says that. But also like it's but also it's like I don't really care if it fits the aesthetic at this point that somebody developed in their own mind in their bedroom. Like if you go back and read Legends, there's plenty of different influence from different elements of different sci-fi genres, and this is no different. It's just being brought to life, and I think let's get weird with it. Like Acolyte, as we all said, like there are things I liked, there are things I didn't. It's overall a good show to me, and a lot of it, especially the first 2 episodes, felt like the prequels. It felt like Star Wars, which is something we use a lot. But I hope this feels a little different. It's okay to play. It's a big galaxy. It's okay to play with all the toys in the toy box and enjoy it. And I think it's going to be super. I have such high hopes, and I really don't think I'm going to be disappointed. Like I really don't, based on it. And it looks cinema quality also, more than anything else in the trailer, unless they just use the good effects shots. So yeah, I'm pumped.
No, I agree 100%. It looks...
Not to mention, this one has been in the making for years. Was
a while? Yeah,
it was like kind of name dropped. I think several years ago.
Like 2020.
I was gonna say 2020 or 21. I think.
The only one that survived besides Andor.
No shit, right?
Bye, Rogue Squadron. Bye, Lando. Bye.
Oh, listen, I don't even want to talk about that, but
Lando's still trying.
Yeah, he's still out there. Can't keep that guy down.
No,
everything you've heard about him is true.
But yeah, we could talk about this all day but we do have other things to talk about. I will say though, the trailer looked great. I am so excited.
10 out of 10.
As far as it goes with like comparing it to like trailers of other things we've seen, it gave the different vibe because of the soundtrack and everything. But in addition to that, there's nothing I took from that trailer where I'm just like, maybe I'm not pumped for this. Like, I saw the trailer, and I was like, I am freaking stoked. It looks awesome, and I cannot wait to get this full series. The 2-episode drop on December 3rd at that.
Oof,
yeah, man.
2 episodes.
Yeah.
Love it.
2-episode drop. Oh, man, guys, we're staying up late that night, gentlemen.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, and I could not be more excited to.
What day
it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it.
What? It'll be Wednesday, but it'll be late. It'll be Wednesday. I know you got stuff Wednesdays, but it'll be late. So
that's like an early birthday present for me, honestly. So,
happy birthday, Dadalorian.
Don't worry, it's not yet. So, but
it's a Tuesday, Matt.
The big 6-0. What?
Feels like it. So,
it's a Tuesday, even better. And
yeah, that means we get a Christmas Eve episode.
Ooh.
I did see that, and I was like, I'm trying to like plan that out now. Like, man, where am I going to get my time in to do that? In addition to,
I'll be watching it on an airplane. But anyway, neither here nor there. We can handle logistics for the podcast later. But everybody, now you can see what our text messages look like. So a little behind the scenes for you.
No lie
but
there.
I think let's shift it out now, right? There's a couple other big announcements.
There is. Second one we're moving on to is a new Star Wars trilogy getting announced. So this is from Deadline.com. Lucasfilm has closed a deal with Simon Kinberg to develop a trilogy of Star Wars films. Kinberg will write the trio and produce them with Lucasfilm's chief Kathleen Kennedy. Deadline says, I heard this will compromise episodes 10 through 12 of the Skywalker saga that began with George Lucas's 1977 films, which along with Steven Spielberg's Jaws reshaped the global blockbuster game. Insiders dispute my intel that Kinberg will continue that storyline, saying that instead this will begin a new saga and sit alongside percolating Star Wars projects with James Mangold, Shireen I'm gonna butcher this name. Shareem Odebas Chinoy, Taika Waititi, and Donald Glover. Sorry, it's late tonight, guys.
So everything we just said got canceled.
More or less. And as usual, Lucasfilms and Disney are not commenting on this yet, which that last piece, I don't think any of us are particularly surprised. Lucasfilms and Disney are always, if somebody comes to them with like, hey, what's up with this? They're not going to reveal it because they are a studio that is really good about giving it to the audience when they want to.
It's on their terms.
They're ready for a big reveal. They want to have some details. It sounds like this. Whoever the original person that was working on it just hopped out. Well, they probably would have became a trilogy because that's a commitment. Yep. Simon Kinberg was one of the main writers on Rebels. So, and you guys know Rebels is my favorite Star Wars content ever. So I'm super stoked for it, and I'm not surprised it's a trilogy. And I think it's the rumor is Rey is going to be the Obi-Wan. Great. She's a little young, not sure exactly how that's going to work, but. I love the prequels. There are things I don't like about the last one, especially. There are things that I would change. Force Awakens, perfect movie. Fight me, whole internet. Hit the comments. We'll take the engagement. I'm excited. Let's continue this story. Maybe they'll talk John Boyega into coming back. And I think Oscar Isaac has recently expressed interest in coming back. Let's continue that saga. If you have the actors, let's close some gaps here. They're doing a great job in the comics, and with Mando filling in the time in the comics, even prior to Return of the Jedi, filling in some gaps on like how we get to the finished product that is Rise of Skywalker. Honestly, similar to Clone Wars, like with the prequels for me, making me enjoy the sequels a little more. Like, let's get stoked. It's more Star Wars.
Yeah,
and that's just it, man. Like the fact that they're coming out with a trilogy, like that they're announcing it as a trilogy, like it goes in line. And part of the reason I absolutely believed it when we first heard rumors is it goes in line with what Lucasfilms and Disney were saying they wanted to do, which is get away from the shows on Disney Plus itself and get more back into the cinema world instead of just the shows.
Yeah,
which is great. And this guy also did X-Men stuff, did he not? Like,
yes, he did.
Earlier X-Men.
Yeah, I think he directed or was involved with like X-Men 1 and 2, like the OG ones.
Yes. And
I can't.
Fantastic.
So I gotta look it up. I'm not positive on that. But.
Yeah, and I think I love that it's going to coincide and maybe connect to some of this other stuff because now that the Mandoverse is ending, with this Filoni movie. What a good segue. And like the James Mangold movie about the Dawn of the Jedi, I've said this on the cast before. I've said it to you guys. Comixology or Comic Store, pick up the series Dawn of the Jedi. It was one of the last ones Dark Horse did before the Disney acquisition. Even the Zero issue that's like the preview for it, it gives you such a cool idea, whether they use any of this or not, of like how the Jedi came to be and how they got lightsabers, now the Sith, and the really, really awesome stuff. And I hope it's biblical. So I hope that, that's kind of how it feels when he makes the movie and ties into everything.
Yeah,
well,
definitely.
We should definitely tag him in this so he can get some of our ideas. Because here's another one. If it's set after that and raise, an Obi-Wan-esque character, guess who? There's every reason could be in it is Grogu.
Yeah,
100%. I think that's 100% true. And I think what else? If we're like putting down little nuggets and notes. If you go to the concept art from Force Awakens, also I can't recommend concept art books enough. There's a character originally who was going to have a moniker of Darth Vader. They decided to go against this, but toy around with it. That becomes more of a moniker for characters. Who was a Jedi hunter who was sort of like an evolution of the Sith and Vader, and Grievous that had a bunch of like lightsabers of Luke's Jedi that he killed on his belt. Like he was sort of looks like a mix of almost like Grievous, Vader, and a Knight of Ren. It's in the concept art. You can look it up. Eric, I'll try to find a photo so you can throw it up on screen. But it is such a cool character, and it's something they abandoned. But if they want to talk about the Jedi Order getting a little funky again, let's do what they did in that Star Wars series that took place with like Cade Skywalker, like 100 years after Return of the Jedi and Dark Horse. Let's bring those guys in. Let's get a whole galaxy where the Empire is. Really get weird with it. Like, why not? Here's an opportunity 19 years in the future after the New Republic was obliterated and they finally defeated the First Order and things are rebuilding with a Jedi school. Like, let's really make a new Star Wars.
And I think it's the right time for it, man.
I agree.
We had the wrap-up of the so-called wrap-up of the Skywalker saga with episode 9. we'll talk about that later time.
We had an episode where we all finally fight.
Yes. But no, I think it's time for it to they're going to go in a new direction and build it into something different and like you said, maybe even a little bit funky or weird compared to what we've seen in the past. Just because it's a new generation of people watching this shit. It's not our parents or anything, watching this shit in '77 anymore. So I think it's time. It is the time for them to experiment and see what can they do with it.
It's up to us to bridge the gap.
Yeah.
Well,
this
Disney,
podcast is the only thing bringing everyone together.
Yeah, well, Disney, if you're listening to us, we're here for your ideas. So, hit that email button.
If any one of our tens of listeners, I'm kidding, knows anybody at Disney, I'm kidding. There's a couple hundred. But so it's lots of good stuff. We'll do another what if episode if Disney wants. Also, I've been begging Eric to do one of those. Just get some fresh ideas from
Disney
us.
to let me play Darth Nihilus if that ever happens in the.
You're gonna have to put a little bit of height on, brother. The miracle of
11.
effect stuff. Yeah,
11.
Oh my God, Eric! Did you see that?
6 foot on a good day.
Did you see that pic? That post I sent you from at 375 figures? His Darth Nihilus
he's so
shot
good
today.
too.
Oh
I don't think I saw it. I have not been on my phone much.
Probably like 20 minutes ago. It is probably the best picture of Nihilus I think I've ever seen.
Oh, it was great. The black and white one, fantastic today. 375 figures.
Oh my goodness!
Another homie of ours that I know watches the live streams and the cast sometimes too.
So I am gonna. It's hard to see on here. I'm gonna save this and throw it up on the screen actually, because this is just top tier.
Yeah.
Actually,
We'll let him know.
Amazing, and I'm gonna save this so I can share his stuff later. Because holy crap, is that good?
Yeah.
But yes,
I need like
anyways.
that. I told him I was like I would put that on my wall.
Yeah, 1,000%. Like that looks like artwork, honestly. So
It does.
But anyways, so we do have one more announcement before we get to Collector's Corner, which is a fun one, and it's something that all of us had been looking forward to, which was Andor Season 2 got its official release date at D23 Brazil this last weekend, I think, correct?
Yep.
It did. I think it's April 22nd.
I was gonna say my phone's taking about a year to load stuff up right now, so I'm having trouble pulling up. April 22nd though.
2025 to clarify.
Yep.
Yes, and honestly, so one of the things that I've noticed is happening right now too, especially with us, all three of us being collectors, we are seeing so many of these action figures come out before the show reveal. So we got everything from Andor Season 2. Which, I mean, a lot of these are ones we expected. We expected K2, expected more Cassian, Daedra, stuff like that. Same thing's happening with Skeleton Crew right now, too. So, and this is going to be... Matt, you and I were talking about this just before the show started. This is going to make this a pretty big line, I think, because there's a lot of them that just came out, and it's only going to be a 2-season show. They said that this is going to lead directly into Rogue One, essentially.
Yeah. And I got a good theory about that, too, that I think is interesting. I think we're going to get at least one more. First of all, they showed Range Troopers leaked yesterday, but they have different, no magnetic boots, a little bit different lower. But I was saying, in the poster for the show, you have Cassian in this sort of like disguise getup with like white highlights on the jacket, a little bit like fancy. I think we're going to get a figure of him, too, I would hope, because I actually have next to me. So I like to fiddle with my toys while I talk on stuff. I have the Cassian that I showed a couple weeks ago that I was so excited for. Great face sculpt. That was released already from Season 2, and it's what he wore at the beginning of Rogue One. So I have to wonder if that's not what he's wearing at the end of the series, or, the last 4-episode arc, or, the second and, third episode arcs, those last 2, because if you really think about it, it's 4 3-episode arcs. You guys all get it. Anyway, I think it's going to come later in the series. Sure. And you may get another Cassian or two, like that disguise Cassian. It's like a different haircut. Like, I mean, you guys know I'm pumped to get any Cassian.
Well, you know how many Cassians, how many they had for Season 1?
They had 2. Disguise Cassian and regular Cassian.
That was it?
That was it.
Huh.
They're kind of
they had the Rogue One Cassian from the movie.
they're kind of go with the Obi-Wan treatment for him. Like they did with the Obi-Wan Kenobi show line, because in that line, I think there's 4 or 5
same
different
body
Obi-Wans.
mold on same body mold on there's like a split of like 2 of the same body mold, 2 of the other, but I'll take a repaint if it's got a fancy sash or something over it.
Dude, I got basically the whole Obi-Wan excuse me. I got basically the whole Obi-Wan line, and honestly every time I look at it I'm like, man, I wasted that is like so many of the same exact figure.
And there's a tough thing with that line too. They're the Obi-Wans, the last 2, the Jabim one, and the Traveler Obi-Wan. It's like the sculpt on that figure's arms is heinous. Like you can't get the lightsaber in the like chunky part of like the molded like. Yeah, both of them. Tried the lightsaber like kind of is funky. It's hard to get the lightsaber on the wrist to twist. Yeah, but anyway,
it's not to be an inbox collector.
Yeah, Andor. Anyway, I'm pumped, and I think it's going to be great. And I think it's going to be a similar structure, right? They're going to make you earn the action. It's going to be a mission or a moment, and I think Krennic's going to feature far more prominently than we think in certain parts of it, which will be exciting.
So. He is definitely one of my favorite characters from Rogue One.
They already tied that they were making the Death Star, so that's out in the ether at that time. But one with the Force and the Force is with it, if you will. But damn, like it's exciting.
It's gonna be good. And I also am hopeful that we might maybe get a little Saw Gerrera.
Yeah, well, I think
we will. I'm pretty sure. I think they did confirm that already, which is awesome. Forrest Whitaker is fantastic, and I am so excited to see more of him. So
I would love to see him how he gets injured, because I believe in old canon he gets injured in a bombing on Naboo, where he takes out Panaka. I think. Don't quote. That's a debunk for next time.
That might.
But I think
right.
that's what it was. So I would love it if that came back to be a thing. Yeah. But just pulling in that old pulling legends where you need it,
Yeah, exactly. So, but we don't have much information on anything with Andor yet. Aside from that, we had a couple pictures drop, or leak, I guess you could say. But it looks great, and I am so stoked. That will be the next show that we get once Skeleton Crew wraps up. So we're gonna have probably about a 3-4 month span that we don't really get much. But that's kind of become the norm at this point. That we know of.
But I mean,
there is the rumor of another animated series occurring, but nobody has heard anything really about that just yet.
And that maybe Andor will get another 3-episode premiere like it did last time, so you get one arc off the bat. I'd love that.
And so this will take us through mid-January. So really, we'll only have 2.5 months.
Yeah.
Maybe more.
I mean, there'll be plenty of figures and content out in between. I'm reading right now the awesome Jakku comics. They're finally out of the original trilogy phase in the comic books, and they're doing 3 miniseries that are 4 issues each, and they're going to come out every week through the end of the year. So if you haven't been jumping on those, everybody, I think they just finished Resurgency Rising or something on it. Really cool stuff with Luke in it. Really cool stuff. So I definitely say check it out. You get a lot of Green Saber Luke.
That's cool.
Nice.
I'm excited. They're doing some Acolyte comics that's coming up, and I'm excited for some more stories there. So.
When are we gonna get the second High Republic series of the Blade? Come on, if you haven't read the Blade comic, everybody read the fucking Blade comic. It's awesome,
guys. I have entered the 3rd act of the book, Light of the Jedi. Eric.
Yes.
There's only like this much left. There's like less than 100 pages. I'm gonna do this.
Dude,
I'm finishing that book
I have
this year.
so hard on the reading lately because it's been so crazy in my life.
I'm a comic guy because I'm bored. I need pictures. I'm like illiterate.
No, this book. This book
pictures.
is really. It is a great book, but I'm not obviously a fast reader. I started in like March. But it's really a great fucking story, and I would love for them to create some like theatrical movies, like a High Republic trilogy. Like that would be. That'd be cool. I'm only 1 book in. Like people like Ari, my brother, he's just he's a lunatic for
He's
it.
a machine. He loves
it.
We'll have him on one time.
And that's a compliment if he's watching. He knows that, but he loves it so much. He knows it all.
We'll get him on to just review a High Republic book a week, and then we can all take a break. There's no guy.
That's so edit it, but
I don't know if we have time.
Just let them go. It's just gonna be a title card and an end card.
just put them on live, right?
Ari, we love you. I just want to let you know that.
Oh man, but all right, guys. So now that was all the three of the big announcements we got over the last like 2 weeks or so. So I'm super stoked about those three. I know you guys are too. But that gets us into our favorite part of the show, the Collector's Corner. And normally I let you guys go first, but I'm jumping in because I'll be honest with you. I got something this last week, and I've gotten a bunch of stuff recently.
It's got a toy last weekend. Sorry, go on.
I've gotten a bunch of stuff recently that I haven't showed off. But this one I was super excited for because I did not expect it to show up in the stores. I was absolutely I was just going through the store to go get something random, and I got this guy.
Shit!
Yeah. We had the release of the Skeleton Crew guys before we actually had the show. I found this in the store when I was just going to get something, and I was like, "Well, I need that one." So
was that at GameStop?
No, Walmart, bro. So for those of you listening instead of watching on like our Spotify or something, this is the Skeleton Crew, the vintage collection of Jod Nana Wood. This is Jude Law's character. So, and like we were talking about earlier, it's got the very piratey vibe to it. Got the shawl and the very musket-looking pistol with him.
Swashbuckler's jacket too. Man,
yes, exactly. So it looks awesome. Really good detail. And the back of the card just kind of gives a little bit into the story, which, we don't know much about it yet. All it just reads is that when 4 kids make a mysterious discovery on their seemingly sole home planet, they get lost in a strange and dangerous galaxy. Finding their way home, meeting unlikely allies and enemies will be a greater adventure than they ever imagined. So it gives, just a very basic overview of it.
Yeah.
But honestly,
so cool, though.
Yeah, and I'm so stoked to see. What comes out in the rest of the TVC line because unlike you guys, I do that and Black Series. But I think we'll see more. We won't see much more of it in TVC, and the way that I do my TVC, as you guys know, I have all of them lined up like one next to the other on the wall in chronological order of like the show or movie it came out in. I still have no idea what the actual chronological order of this thing is, so I have to wait and really figure that out.
It happens right by Ahsoka. It's after Jedi. It's in that era. So.
Yeah, it's like Mando, Jedi era, something like that. I don't know yet, so I'm gonna figure that out.
Eric, will they be selling any children in TVC? Any children for purchase?
Why don't you tell us? That seems to be your realm.
I'll get on the dark web, the dark side web.
Bro, you're getting a call from the FBI when this is over.
Hey, I know.
And by a call, I mean a no-knock raid.
Yeah, I'm saying is if they're willing to listen to the cast, I'll take the stream.
Like and follow.
Yeah, like and follow, federal government. Cool. No, dude, I'm pumped. I said, I got my 2 pre-ordered. Not pre-ordered, purchased. They'll be here this week, and couldn't be more pumped.
Hell yeah. All right, well, now it's your guys' turn, so I'll let you fight over who wants to go first.
Ant, are you prepared, or do you want me to go?
Well, have you shown the one that I got last week? Like as your item? I just don't like to do that.
I'm re-showing one you showed, so just do it.
Okay.
You want me to go first?
All right. Yeah, you can go first.
Do it.
I mean,
so I'm gonna show Thrawn. This is about our collections and how excited we are. It's not about revealing something new. So I got Thrawn finally, guys. Pre-order finally came. Amazing portrait, and I know Ant already showed him
to make it look
keep
like
him up there.
to make it look like him.
We can have
them talking
buddies.
to each other. Yeah, Thrawn buddies, just Thrawn pals. But let me say, from a Thrawn pal standpoint, you know what I think is really cool about what they're doing right now? Let me see if the camera can pick it up. It's hard to do this when it's full screen. If you kind of look, let me play with it in the light a little. It's not hard to fuck both of you. Let me see right there.
Eric's not doing anything.
Yeah, there are silver hints on the blaster and really a little bit of detailing. And it's funny because when I have a figure I have a double of, I add silver highlights to my blasters to add a little more depth to them. And they're on both the Cassian blasters and they're on the what's her name, the ISB agent from Andor. His name's escaping me right now, but they're on there, and Deidre Miro, and I think that that's a cool touch. You know, like with the paint apps and stuff. Like, let's make the blasters a little more interesting. Like, I mean, Cassian one too. I know the Rogue One did, but you know, it's like. It's there too. I'm showing it on camera for those that aren't watching. It's really cool. It helps me. The one thing I do wish they would do that they never do is if you're going to do silver accents on these things, just paint the inside of the blaster barrel black. Like I end up doing that on mine, so that if somebody's taking a photo of it, it adds depth. But anyway, yeah, I'm stoked on that figure. I was so jealous of Ant, and I'm glad I got it.
Yeah, I'm glad you got it too.
It looks just like him too.
I don't know if I told you this, Eric. I don't think I did, but he called me crying for days after I got it, and he didn't have it.
It was just tough. It was tough. I was like, I like it more. Why you? Why you? Why did you?
No.
And Ian got it like a week before the world did, which was bizarre.
All these flavors in the world, and you choose to be salty.
Yeah, it's me. I think of it as umami.
You know what? I like this. I like that figure so much though, because I mean it is really true to form, and I know a lot of people didn't like the depiction of Thrawn and Ahsoka, but I thought it was pretty damn realistic for like what kind of time frame we're talking. Like he got older,
well, like that he was chubby. Listen, man, he was stuck on that planet.
About that, yeah.
Listen, guys, he's been stuck on that planet for 30 years. Yeah, stuck on that planet for like 25 years, eating nothing but crab people dipped in butter. That's literally
it. That's it.
Yeah.
Let's just put it this way: when the Purgle transported him to Peridia, they probably didn't go, well, all right, let me make sure there's a treadmill on board.
Yeah, I think that personal gym with those two droids he had must have gotten damaged.
Yeah, so
they only had sublight thrusters. All right, you got to put the energy where it's supposed to go.
All right, speaking of energy, I am going to do the collector's item that I got at Disney last week. So I walked into one of the stores. I was really hoping that they would. So there's a fun story before I show them off. So I was really hoping that they would have the Yoda Gree 2-pack, because I keep seeing that is going to Shop Disney soon, and once it's at Shop Disney, typically it's in the park. So I'm looking all over for it, and this kind, knowledgeable cast member comes up to me, and she was like, "What are you looking for?" And Liz, my wife, tells her. And she's like, "Oh, nope, I don't see that one." And I'm like, "Nope, I don't see it either." And
thanks.
And she
really
was like,
appreciate the help.
She's like, "But guess what? It's in the basement." And I was like, "Oh, is it?" And she was like, "Yeah, we can't sell it until the 17th." And I was like, "Thanks for sharing. Thank you so much."
What kind of character is that? You missed it by 2 weeks.
I know, but anywho, Papa Pelps was there, so this is a
figure.
I still need to get that one too, man. I want that one bad. It's just
I love it. He is a kind of a mix of a couple different strategies here. I personally love the fact that he's got the plastic hood. Like I've said before, I hate dicking with hoods when I'm taking pictures, and this one will always look good 100% of the time. But then we got
there's
the soft
some
goods.
pieces that should just not be fabric.
Yeah. And then
we did a great job with them on the Acolyte figures. Yeah, the soft goods on that are so good too.
But the lightning hands, this is my where is he? There he is.
Yes, yeah.
This is my first Sidious that isn't the Kane one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The only other one, I guess.
The Throne set had the lightning hands. Yeah.
Yes, the Throne set had it. So, anywho, that was exciting to get that, and I had purposefully kind of held off on getting a handful of characters, figures that were out, because I was like, it's always more fun to get one at Disney. Just pick one up.
Yeah,
and
100%.
Have them come home with me, and that's always
the
going to be
experience.
The experience. I would have bought something even if I had it already. So that's my yeah.
Yeah. So that was. It was an awesome trip, and I would encourage anyone who has the ability to go to Galaxy's Edge to do so.
They need to do it.
Do it. Just a fun fact, though, Disney, you can book trips like far out, like a year or more in advance, and all you got to put down is $200, and so you throw $50 here, $100 there. I think it's got to be paid off just 2 months before you go. So,
Oh,
I mean,
okay, that's
yes, it is expensive, but I don't just drop $4,000 and say, let's go to Disney. You know,
You have way too many action figures for that. Yeah, I know.
So if you're smart about it, you can do it.
You can
All
do
right,
it.
good to know. I actually didn't know that myself. So,
Do it.
but all right. So I'll say this much: 3 really great collector's corners from all of us.
Yes.
But
Wait,
that
should we all
does-
do it and then ride a speeder bike built for 3 through the park?
I could probably manage
Yeah.
that.
Our poor wives following us, like,
My wives, my kids will be, Daddy, my turn.
Oh, you'll be way far ahead. You'll be way far ahead.
So my son
May the force be with you.
had a first order stormtrooper approach him, and the stormtrooper went to give him a high five, and he gave him a high five. Aiden gave him a high five, and he had a big old smile, and then like as soon as he pulled away, he just started getting real mad, sad. It was I don't know. I think he was scared. I'm not sure, but it was pretty cool.
Listen, as long as he watches Star Wars, it's all that matters. No son of mine.
And Matt,
Listen, no, my
saw
daughter, she
a
would have
video,
tried to beat
but-
the shit out of him.
Matt, I think, saw a video of it, but I was walking through the streets of Galaxy's Edge, and no other than Chewbacca just came by, and I slid him a handshake, a cool guy handshake, and that was pretty freaking magical.
Chewie?
I was like, Chewie, my friend, hello, and then I literally bounced away.
Then you ran away and started crying.
I was like, oh my god, that's amazing.
I think that would be if I ever come across Mando in the park or Boba Fett.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
So hey,
just like nervous handshake.
Here's a fun fact about that is that Mando hasn't been in the parks, I don't think, until fairly recently he started to be
It
in
just
there.
started recently, yeah.
Okay, so I was pumped. I'm like, maybe I'll see him, maybe I will. So my in-laws, who we vacation with, we stayed with them, and they stayed for 2-3 more days than us. And guess what? Paul, my father-in-law, sends me a picture the day after we leave in Galaxy's Edge of Din Djarin just standing right there in front of him.
Of course
And I
he
was
did.
like,
Dank Farrick.
but he deserves it. He deserves it. He's a veteran. Happy Veterans Day to all the veterans out there.
Happy Veterans Day to all the veterans. That's what we're recording today.
Yes, it is. But anyways, with that, we wrap it up this week, boys. So, so everybody listening and watching right now, we want to thank you guys for hanging out with us today as we got to go over some really great topics. You know, we hit the new trailer for Skeleton Crew, which is amazing. The D23 of the Andor announcement, and then on top of that, the new trilogy getting announced as well. So all really awesome things, and of course, wouldn't be Sith Happens without showing off our toys. But anyways, guys, you can find us online. Go to our Instagram, which is at Sith Happens _Star Wars podcast, which has a link tree to all of our various links, including YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music. You can go follow us on all of those there. We encourage you to do so and kind of check us out for some upcoming giveaways, some upcoming episodes, and everything else. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to my boy, Matty Ice. Do you have any final words of wisdom for us, brother?
I will just say, let's get it on with all this great Star Wars content. I have spoken.
Hell yeah. Ant, my boy, what do you got?
He has spoken. I couldn't. This one I was excited for. The Skeleton Crew is going to be great. I hope the Star Wars people who love Star Wars get excited about it and they enjoy it. And I know the three of us will. So at least we're going to talk about every single episode. So that's going to be fun.
Oh, yes,
We will find out how many 10s will be given.
Yes.
But for now, I will just stay excited about the toys that are coming out. And I got a Comic-Con this weekend. Grand Rapids Comic-Con. My brother and I are going to pop in there for a couple hours on Sunday. So I'm saving my dollar bills.
Yeah,
Yes.
shekels.
Man, so you did Disney and Comic-Con back to back. You're a brave person.
It's not a huge Comic-Con. It's fairly small. I believe, at least. But last year I went and it was bad.
Promote the podcast.
But very good. Very good.
You just spent a lot of money.
Fair enough, but
No shade on Grand Rapids Comic-Con.
No,
Yes.
Grand Rapids Comic-Con is amazing.
awesome. Well,
It's not for your wallet. Sorry,
Peace, guys.
Eric's,
No Comic-Con.
Eric's trying
No-
desperately to
No Comic-Con is good for your wallet. I will tell you that right now.
All right, Eric, sign us off.
Yes, I will sign us off now. So once again, guys, thank you for joining us. I'm Eric the Dadalorian. You guys have a great day. This is the way.